Hey there, welcome back to another random room. Today we are in one of the MetDROiD holds, MetDROiD Prime, the Chozo room, Chozo ruins, thrice north, twice east. MetDROiD holds are pretty great. They kind of, well, I imagine they mimic some of the MetDROiD games, at least in terms of, I think the layout of the first one is similar to how the maps look. The later one will also have like power-ups you can get, and in this one you activate them by entering codes. In the third one, the third DROD, MetDROiD game, it's actually done using scripting, which is pretty cool. This is all in DROD hole as well, so it's pretty impressive. I kind of like to see one done in with the TSS engine, because now it'll be a lot easier to just sort of have things. I guess the only difficulty is the only thing with holds like this where you get power-ups and then you sort of have to go back and do other things is that when you restore, you need to make sure that you restore to the right spot. So that's something I guess a hold needs to, an architect needs to deal with. Anyway, onto this room. This is actually a fairly simple room. It's just a corridor between one room and the other. But we do have a triple of roaches, 3 roaches to deal with. We've got 2 entrances, so we can come from the top or the bottom. And yeah, just 3 roach queens. So let's take a look at the scores. You can see this is held by Stuart K with a score of 66. And Wallo first through with a 69, and yeah, one off by each of these players, Doom, Robobob, and Stuart. So yeah, these are fairly popular holds, so I'm not imagining there's going to be much here. This is also a simple room. Let's just head through and see how we go. So going from the south, the only difference is that, yeah, it might be easier to do it from the north. So actually, I think if I'm looking ahead, I think I want to do this. Okay, that's slightly better than having my sword the other way and then having to turn it to get this one. I could also have I guess what I could do, yeah, what I could do, if we just expand on that notion a bit more, I can come this way. Like I scared this one over this way, but I could scare this one the other way. And then we go like here. Now my sword's in a slightly better position to deal with the spawn of this roach, this queen. Unfortunately we do need to face west. Okay, so that's the 66th. Yeah, so if I hadn't done that, then yeah, I would have needed to turn further. You need to face, you do need to face west to deal with this. The other thing we can try is, yeah, coming in from the top. So all we need to do is just clear the room, so we leave that queen alone. There are no secret entrances. But how's this going to look? So they're all going to run down. And they're all going to be... Okay, I'm going to need to turn my sword more. So that's probably not going to work out. And there's going to be a second spawn. So yeah, if there wasn't a second spawn, I could maybe get away with coming down even faster. So that's definitely going to be slower. You don't get to do any of the tricks of yeah, scaring the queens over, because they immediately get scared onto the edges. Yeah, so sword turning is a requirement. So we'll just come down again. I don't think there's anything more to do. No, if I was thinking maybe I could be facing west straight away, but that requires an extra turn to kill this one, and I don't think we are as good as getting this one. Maybe. So the turn we lose, we sort of lose a turn here. We gain a turn by not having to. Okay, we get that. Yeah, we gain a turn in that we don't have to turn our sword for this part, but we lose a turn in, yeah, that queen. Can't do anything clever, we don't have enough space. Ooh. Do we have enough time? Oh, if we had one more turn, this would be faster. Yeah, if the queen didn't spawn, yeah, we'd be out in 65. Yeah, so what happens is we lose a turn because we're not cutting. Yeah, if we keep our sword the same, we have to not cut this corner. If we turn, then it's the same thing. Yeah, so the only benefit would be if we could do this, and then, yeah, nearly, but not quite. Okay, and we just can. I mean, that's slow anyway. 67. Okay, let's take a look at the scores. I don't think I downloaded these ones. There are a lot of 66s, and so the best was the first one was the 69. So you might act for a full thing. No, because Swallow has improved their score to 68. So Dooms is still there. Robobob is still there. And Stuart is still there. Alright. Okay, so this is effectively the same as what I first did. We're losing 2 turns here by having to come up to this spot, and then we take 2 turns to get to here. So yeah, so that's where the 2 moves are lost. I'm kind of interested to see whether the 67, because okay, it's not cutting enough. Yeah, this saves 1 turn, but yeah, you could also do it down here, and that way you're cutting directly across this corner. Okay, and finally the 66, which I think is going to be what we saw. Yeah, it's turning instead of coming up. I mean, that's only going to make a difference depending on what the next room is. What is in this room? Which way do you want to be facing when you enter it? And that's only if you want worried about doing, if you want to do a full level demo, which would be kind of interesting, really interesting in a MetDROiD home, because you are sort of doubling back everywhere. And you can't, I mean, in this one, because it's codes, you can cheat. I think this is some sort of, it's like it's a boss room, and then you get a code for something at the end. But the code is the same between each playthrough, so you can cheat if you know the codes. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for today. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.